The Saratoga and North Creek Railway, operated over the former Adirondack Railway, built by Thomas C. Durant in 1871. The Delaware and Hudson Railway acquired the Adirondack Line from William West Durant in 1889. The North Creek Station is where Theodore Roosevelt learned he was to become President of the United States of America, after President William McKinley was assassinated in 1901. During World War II, magnetite, ilmenite, and titanium were shipped by rail from Taos by the Delaware and Hudson. The D&H last operated Monday through Saturday scheduled passenger service in the 1950s. Service was reduced to summer service by the mid-1950s. And regular service entirely ended by 1957, with only freight service remaining. The D&H continued freight service until September 1989, when the mine at Taos closed. In 1998, the line was purchased by Warren County with plans to operate an excursion train to improve tourism and economic development in the area. In 1999, the Upper Hudson River Railroad began operating excursion trains south from North Creek to Riverside Station in Riparius. The Upper Hudson River Railroad lost their contract with Warren County on December 31, 2010, ending 11 years of operation. On April 8, 2011, it was announced that Iowa Pacific Holdings would take over operation of the North Creek Line, effective July 1, 2011. As part of the agreement, Iowa Pacific agreed to operate a minimum of 182 tourist-oriented passenger trains over the line. With the creation of the Saratoga and North Creek Railway, Iowa Pacific regularly scheduled service returned to the line for the first time since the D&H ceased freight operations on November 17, 1989. Iowa Pacific began operating trains on July 14, 2011, as the Saratoga and North Creek Railroad. Unlike the Upper Hudson River Railroad, the Saratoga and North Creek operated over the entire 57 miles between Saratoga Springs, New York and North Creek. The SNC utilized General Electric locomotive B3980E, number 8524. EMD BL2 number 52 and 56, former Bangor and Aroostook Railroad. EMD GP40PH2 number 4135, along with former Chicago and Northwestern number 6070. The Saratoga and North Creek Railway offered passenger service between Saratoga Springs and North Creek. With sightseeing excursions, special events and onboard dining, there was always something unique happening. In the summer, the passenger service offered excursions around the Adirondacks. During the winter months, the passenger service offered the Gore Mountain Snow Train, with transportation to Gore Mountain Ski Resort, as well as a host of activities for the non-skier to relieve cabin fever in the cold weather. Around the holidays, the railroad operated the Polar Express from Saratoga Springs, a magical round-trip journey to the North Pole. On May 14, 2012, Iowa Pacific received permission from the Surface Transportation Board to restore freight service on the derelict north end of the line as far as Newcomb. Freight service began on the line in February 2013. On April 3, 2018, plans were announced to shut down the railway line due to financial losses. The final tourist train ran on April 7. The future of the railway line itself is uncertain. The organization Protect the Adirondacks has called for the conversion of the railway line into a rail trail. 4 bids for purchasing the line for passenger and freight service were placed in 2019. According to newspaper articles, the dormant 30-mile stretch of railroad tracks between North Creek and the old mining settlement of Taos may soon see freight trains once again, now that the tracks are set to be auctioned. There's already been one bid for the tracks, from Revolution Rail, which for the past several years has operated a rail biking attraction, in which tourists ride along the tracks in specially built carts with pedals. Revolution Rail has offered an initial $700,000 bid for the rail line, which was recently approved by a federal bankruptcy court that is handling the liquidation of assets from the now bankrupt Saratoga and North Creek Rail Line and its parent company, the former San Luis and Rio Grande Railroad.